Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I really want to talk about my experience during my pregnancy and postpartum, and kind of how the body image struggles affected me during that time, after, and kind of the things that I've done to actually overcome it. So the purpose of this video is to help anyone that feels that they are going through this journey, especially during their pregnancy and postpartum, to let you know that you're not alone. Your thoughts and feelings are completely valid, and I'm really hoping that today I can share some of my tips that really helped me overcome my body image struggle. So first of all, let's start with pregnancy itself. So I actually really didn't struggle with any body image problems when I had my second baby, Ezra. I was very lucky, I think, because I'd kind of gone through this journey already, and as I said, I felt that I had such a shift in my entire mindset during the first pregnancy and postpartum that I felt I didn't have any of these during the second one. So today is just going to be talking about that first experience. And honestly, the first thought when I got pregnant, of course, was joy, happiness. I was so excited that I was finally going to be a mother, because it was a huge dream of mine, and there was a lot of excitement around it. But there was this nagging voice at the back of my head that was just constantly worrying about, oh my gosh, how much weight are you going to gain? How are you going to be able to get rid of it? What's the journey going to be like afterwards? How is your body going to change physically anyway? How's your waist going to change? Your hips, your bum, your boobs? There was all these questions that I'm not going to deny or hide that at all. And I think I maybe probably struggled with that more in the second trimester, because I think during the first, you're kind of just surviving. If anyone, of course, has been pregnant or is pregnant, you know that the first trimester, you can tend to get a lot of symptoms like sickness, nausea, and you just crave certain foods. And for me, that was just carbs. So I didn't really have that problem. Second trimester is where you start to obviously, get some of those changes appear. And the third trimester, definitely, your belly expands, and that's when I started to worry about stretch marks and stuff. And definitely, I would say then, when the stomach started to grow, that's when I was having concerns about ab separation mostly, and if I was going to get my core back. I actually vividly remember during that time when I started to get ab separation, I was so paranoid about it. Like, it consumed all of my thoughts, and now when I look back, actually, I'm actually kind of annoyed at myself, because I feel like that took up a huge part of my brain space as well as my experience. So if anyone is worrying about ab separation, please, I really wish I took this advice. I did in my second. It's going to happen. You are going to get ab separation. It is normal. Your stomach is expanding to accommodate for the human that you are carrying, and you can get it back, and I've got it back, and it's a really normal thing. But I think I really worried about that. And then I was so concerned about stretch marks. As I said, I was constantly like doing my body scrubs, moisturizer, water, and it did really take away some of that part. But it was funny, I would say, as I got towards the end of the third trimester, those worries seemed to run away, because I think I was so heavy, and you can really feel your baby, that those thoughts kind of disappear. And I did notice more towards the end of the pregnancy. I actually took a lot more joy out of it, and I really did enjoy being pregnant. I mean, actually now sometimes I really do miss having a big pregnant belly. Sounds weird, I know, but that part of the pregnancy I absolutely loved. I think if we talk about it on an emotional level and a mental level, is actually, I would say, during your first pregnancy, especially if you do struggle with body image, I think it's actually quite a lot to watch your body go through these changes. In reality, it's hard. I think especially for someone maybe like myself, or for many other women out there who really put an emphasis on their physical appearance, because, I really like to work out a lot and eat well, and I to some degree do care about how I look, of course. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. To see your body have to go through these changes can actually have quite a lot on your mentality and your mindset. And I think it's only when I was going through the journey, and especially towards like the third trimester, I started to shift some of those, which I will share. I think then you start to come away from those struggles. But it is hard, I'm not going to deny that at all. It's a lot to watch your body change and have concerns, because you hear so many women say, oh, you'll never get your body back after your body changes. So you're in such an amazing experience of having your first baby, or a baby in general, and you're so content and excited about it, but at the same time you're like, I'm never going to look the same. What's my body going to be like afterwards? Is it going to be ruined in a sense, as society likes to tell us? So yeah, it's a lot of a mental impact at that point. So then comes the postpartum part. So this is probably the main part that I really want to talk about, and the key points that I really want to give away and how I can help women is especially during the postpartum side of things. So for me, I think after having Eva, first of all, there is just absolutely no concerns around my body. Of course, you've just literally pushed a baby out, and the first thing is getting to know your baby, bonding with your baby, breastfeeding, healing. You have to go through that whole journey first. I was very lucky, and I had a very good birth, and I'm so grateful for. And I think as well, when I look back at my postpartum journey as a whole, I think you're kind of expected, well, in my opinion anyway, I feel I kind of was expected a lot to just snap back because I was a fitness trainer, and I think that honestly put a lot of pressure on me, not only from social media but also from myself, because I don't know, maybe in a way I was trying to prove a point that I could, I don't know, but I think that really played a lot on my mind subconsciously, and that in reality, of course, that doesn't always happen. I mean, you guys, if you've watched my videos after I gave birth, I was very honest. I showed my journey postpartum, and I actually gained weight. So I gave birth, I lost all the weight, and through my breastfeeding journey for the first 6-7 months, I actually gained all of my pregnancy weight back. So I gained like 8 or 10 kilos again. And for me, honestly, that was actually really tough because I was doing all the right things. You know, I was moving, I was exercising when I got the go-ahead from my physio, and I was eating well. I mean, let's not lie, I probably wasn't eating the best in the first few months. I remember eating dairy milk at 4 a.m. in the morning because I was breastfeeding. There was a lot of expectations, and I probably put a lot on that myself. But as I said, I did have a lot of pressure from social media. I mean, I do actually remember a few comments I got into my DMs actually at Christmas time, and this is when I started to gain the weight. And I remember people saying to me like, "You look awful. You should have like bounced back by now." Then I also got messages like, "You look as big as a truck," and it wasn't nice to read those messages. But then on the flip side, when I did start to, you know, completely change my mindset around it and start to get into a more like stronger place and, you know, more looking like myself, I would then get messages from women saying, "Oh, like this isn't," I don't know, I can't even think how to word it. It was almost like, "You put pressure on women, this isn't realistic," and it's just like I felt like I couldn't win. And that was really difficult, and I really suffered a lot through those, I would say, like probably first 6 to 8 months, because it was like, if I don't lose enough weight, I'm given these horrible comments. And then when I do start doing things, which is obviously a lot of it is muscle memory and I'm a trainer, I would then get messages from women saying that this is unrealistic and it's not fair in some degree, and that was also really hard because I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm obviously wanting to make sure that I do the right thing on social media and have the right voice, but at the same time I'm then putting pressure on myself, and that really does play with a lot of your mind, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, and I would say on my mental health it did take an impact during those first few months. But it's funny, I think after a while I actually was just like, no, I need to really concentrate on myself, what's the healthiest. And for me, I remember when I started to gain the weight, I remember like a few months into it, I was of course like confused, like what's going on? I don't get this. And then I did my research on it and I understood that some women either lose or some women gain during breastfeeding, and I was the gaining side. It's funny actually, second time around I'm the losing side, but the first time I was the gaining side, breastfeeding. But I actually just thought to myself, do you know what? I'm doing this because I'm feeding Eva, like whatever, like my body is here as a purpose to feed my child and nurture my child. And I think when I switched that perspective and kind of like drowned out the noise from social media and society, that actually made a really big impact to me, and it helped so much. And then when I stopped breastfeeding and my milk went, I was like, this is now the time that I can put the effort into me now. And what are my goals? I don't care about what everybody else's goals is. What are my goals? And my goals were never about image. It was actually about getting back my strength, because I had lost a lot of strength in my core and in my body in general. So for me, that was the main focus and that was the priority. And I think when I switched it to that instead of it being about image, then I started to see the change and I started to see the difference. And also in my mood in general, I think not having to focus so much on like a physical goal was so much better. And kind of that would actually be the same advice that I would give to so many women, that first of all, let me break it down into 4 different tips for you. So the first one is actually being kind to yourself, especially during postpartum. We as women go through so many changes during pregnancy and postpartum. There is all the hormone changes, the body changes, the bonding with your baby, and a lot can happen. I mean, I haven't actually spoken about it on my channel, but when I had Ezra, I actually went through a very, very tough time. During the first few months, I actually got postnatal depression, and that was really difficult for me. And then I've actually had postnatal anxiety. So there is a lot that happens for women during this time, and we need to learn to be kinder to ourselves and not care so much about the body image aspect of it. And I know that's easier said than done, because trust me, I've been there. But I think when I switched that mentality in my head during my first pregnancy with Eva, and during the postpartum journey, and focused more on the bigger outcomes, which were, you know, I'm doing this to feed my child, I'm doing this to nurture and bond with her. I'm also doing this because I want to get stronger at the end. And, you know, even now, like, I really look at health and fitness as a way to show my kids that you can be strong, and it's not even about looking a certain way. Like, I never say anything about my appearance to my kids, and it's just all about, look how strong mummy is, look how fast mummy can go, like, do you want to join in, and look how good I feel after the exercise. And they see that, and I think I learnt that after I had Eva. So please just be kind to yourself during this journey, and just give yourself the time and the patience and the grace that you absolutely deserve, because you've just gone through an absolute marathon, and you need to give your body time and your mind to heal, catch up, and then get back into a place when you're ready for it. The second tip is actually, please do not compare. Please avoid comparison. Now, I understand this completely because I did it in my first pregnancy. I would actually compare to other pregnant women what I look like in different stages. And again, really stupid when I look back at it, because it doesn't help you, because everybody is different in their pregnancies and their body will carry differently. And even after in the postpartum journey, there will be a comparison to other people. And I think I did that a lot on social media. So one thing I've actually done during the second time with Ezra is I actually just unfollowed loads of people who had had babies that I just didn't, it wasn't anything bad, like I follow them back again now, but it was just I had to mute them and hide them, because I didn't want to compare my body. Like, as I said, my journey with Eva versus Ezra was completely different. Gained, lost. It's just, it is what it is. So there's just no point comparing. So I would definitely advise that if there's anyone that you follow that has been pregnant, me even included, just mute us. Don't look at it, don't compare, and just have grace when you go through your journey, and give yourself all the time that you need to just wrap your head around the changes and have a better mindset around it. The third tip would also be just please focus on what your body can do during pregnancy and postpartum. Everyone is different again. I know even people in the fitness industry that couldn't even work out during their pregnancy. And obviously for someone like me, I could. But as I said, everyone gets different symptoms. Even postpartum, there are women that cannot and do not want to work out for at least the first 6 months, and that's absolutely fine, because they just really want to focus on healing from birth and, you know, spending more time doing other things, and that's absolutely fine as well. And if you are someone that is keen to exercise straight away because it makes you feel better, fantastic, but just do what feels right for you at the time, and that's the best advice that I can always give. And the fourth and final one is, if you really are getting to a point where you feel like you're really struggling a lot with body image, and you've gone through the journey, and, you know, you've tried to shift your mindset and focus on other things, I really would look at considering seeking support. For me, my support network is either a therapist, or my support network has always been my sister. I mean, as I said before, I think when I went through the first journey with Eva, I feel like that's actually when I completely healed my body image, because I actually just, I think I learned in a way to have more respect for my body. But the good thing, as I said, was I actually had support always there in the form of my sister. So if there was a day where I'd be like, oh, I feel really like big and I'm heavy, or, you know, afterwards, if I was like getting towards the end of the pregnancy and getting hormone, I'd be like, how am I going to lose all this weight again? I would always call my sister, and she and I would just have a very logical conversation. She'd listen to my emotions and respect them, and then we'd have a logical conversation at the end of it. But that always really, really helps. So I would always say that to you. If there's someone in your life that you can go to, or if you could go to a therapist, for sure, like, always speak to someone to give you that support during pregnancy and postpartum. And I really just want to say thank you so much, all of you, for watching this, and I really hope that my videos recently have helped a lot of you, because that is the purpose of them, for me to speak up and help many people. And if you feel like you are going through this and you want some advice, or, you know, you have questions of that, please comment in below. We're all here to help one another. So if there's any questions that you want to ask, please let me know and I'll get back to you. And please remember that you and your body are absolutely beautiful, and as I said, you get to carry an amazing little human inside you, and you have so much joy to come. Okay, you are more than your body. So guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, please do give this video a big like and subscribe to my channel because it really does help. If you have any questions, let me know below. And you know, even when you go through this postpartum journey, if you are looking to have someone help you, I've been through this journey and I would love to coach you. I can help you with any goals that you're looking for. I'm a big believer, obviously, of course, in mindset throughout any physical journey as well. So if you do want to speak to someone, you can apply for my coaching program below this video. That is it from me, guys. I'll be back next week with another video, of course, but thank you so much and speak to you later.